Tunes for the morning. In other words, fully licensed bland music that you can use anywhere on the internet. Some of my last good ones were fully licensed, but then they weren't. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're coming to us from, wherever in the world that is. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the DYOR Media Network. So glad to be hosting another episode of DYOR Live today. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us in. It is Friday, February 29th, and my music is going on in perpetuity here. Hold on, it's February 29th. What does that mean? It means my friend Mike has turned 11 today. He has turned 11 years old. Well, maybe it's his 11th birthday. He's not turned 11 years old. But anyway, happy birthday, Mike. I'm glad you get to celebrate for only 11th time in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is a show in which co-host Pedro Garcia is not in the house. But fortunately, I have the one and only, see if I got it right. Yes, Zach Humphries here. Zach, welcome to the show.
What's up, Tom? How you doing, man? And hello to everybody out there. Glad to be here, man. It's been what a wild few days, huh? In crypto, it's been a ton of fun. Yesterday was nuts. The ups and the downs, the swings, the Coinbase issue. Oh man, it was crazy. But taking it all in, man, and happy to be here right now. And I think it's a good time. It's a good time to be in crypto. That's for sure.
That is for sure. I'm just trying to make sure my comment system is up and running here. Andy Wilson, thanks for joining us in once again, everybody. Click, as I always like to say at the beginning of the show, it's YouTube. Our small streamers that likes to see watch time from us. The watch time is the key, but also hitting that like button, sharing, and getting your friends involved in our show is always a good thing. I'm going to take usually what I do at the beginning of the show, Zach, is Pedro introduces it and gets everyone fired up while I drop this in a bunch of Telegram rooms. So I'm going to do that right now. Why don't you give everyone a synopsis of what happened yesterday in Bitcoin?
Yeah, it was crazy, man. And so, we've seen, I think, obviously, we can all see what's been happening here. It's institutional demand. So it's kind of interesting, and I've been saying this kind of in some of my videos and some of my live streams. It feels like it's totally different than the run-up toward this price range that we had in 2021. Back then, it seemed like it was very retail-driven. Everybody and their brother was downloading a new app and getting into crypto, right? It's that feeling, and myself, I was there. I was there in it. I just kind of started crypto in 2020, and I was one of those people. And it was so funny. Back in 2021, the institutional people were still laughing at all of us, right? They were like, "Oh, look at those crypto bros over there. That's cute. That's fun." And now it's completely flipped. The retail money's nowhere to be found, seemingly, maybe slowly coming back. But now all the institutions are driving crazy price action as we get closer to the Bitcoin halving. And obviously, I think it was BlackRock's ETF that set consecutive all-time highs in inflows.
The money was huge.
3 days in a row.
Huge money.
Insane. Blew out expectations, right? Like in a month. They had those projections for the rest of 2024. They preceded that or succeeded that over a month, which is insane.
The FOMO was real even in the institutional world.
100%. 100%. And now we've got Morgan Stanley coming out saying, hey, you know what? We thought better of it. We kind of want an ETF too. Really? all of a sudden, right? But eventually this retail money is going, or demand is going to meet the institutional demand. Who knows what happens? Because then Bitcoin's at a supply shock and a demand shock happening at the same time. I think we're in for a fun ride here. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, Zach. Just participating in it yesterday, watching it just go up, and you're like, it's got to sell off. It's got to sell off. And then it wicks up again, and you're like, ah! and then it starts to sell, and you're like, all right, now it's going to pull back. It was no different than watching a good meme coin launch, because you're like, the dump is coming at any moment, and it didn't happen. I thought for sure there'd be, and as that price gets up more and more, it gets harder for any individual party or coalition of parties to dump the price intentionally, and so we're still seeing the volatility of Bitcoin now. And it's enjoyable to watch, especially when it's going up. I gotta say, it was very fun to do that and wake up this morning and still have the price be the same. In fact, what's it right now up above my shoulder? It's still at 61,000 here, and so above 60,000, good. Above 18,000, good. I didn't buy at 18,000, and I should have. But I didn't. Quick note here: we're having, just like yesterday, we're having a little YouTube trouble with the analytics and the. I don't know if you've had any, Zach, but the past 2 days I've had like internet/YouTube weirdness go on, in their chat, which I usually capture here in live and put it up on the screen, is not working.
There's always something going on with. I haven't had any issues last few days, but it's not uncommon, that's for sure. Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, there are a bunch of you watching. Why don't you go ahead and drop a comment here so I can debunk or debug the problem here. Andy Wilson, thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. And I would say hi to the rest of you that are normally here, but the comment system isn't telling me who's here. So you guys, please do that. Please do that. Join Zach and I here in our talks about what's going on today. Usually in the beginning of these shows, we talk about Bitcoin. We're doing that a little bit. I can't possibly think that Bitcoin is going to be on its way down. Obviously, we do talk about retracements, pullbacks, whatever you want to call it, and the general thought is, let's see, there's a good comment. Is the comment system working? All right, there we go. The comment system is working. Zach, you should be able to see it on the studio feed. Always good to hear you and your guests. Thank you, Andy. Remember to tell all your friends to come join us. Anyway, so it's at 61,000 now. There is really not much resistance for going up here. Up into the 70s. It looks like that there's not much going on. Do we think that I think the number is now like 95% of all Bitcoin wallets are in profits, which is an amazing thing. That's nuts, and which means that the people that have trading rules that are not take the emotion out of it. They probably come and have two bags. They probably have their long-term bag, and then they probably have a trading bag, of which they'll sell some of that to lock in some profits and spread the money out. As we know, the altcoins are going to boom here soon. I mean, they're already booming, but they're going to super boom, we hope, and people are going to want money for that. And where does that money come from? Their BTC gains.
Yep. And then where does the profits go from their altcoin gains? Usually back into Bitcoin.
The infinite money loop, we call it. Crypto Mike, thank you for joining us. Crypto Mike, we're giving you the old...
Nice.
We're giving you the old Canada, coming to us from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Thanks for joining us, Crypto Mike. Zach, he's a regular on this show. Thank you very much. As usual, Mike, get all your friends to come. Both of them. Mike was busy yesterday, couldn't listen to it, so I said, come on today. We're gonna have Zach on the show. Anyway, a couple of things to talk about today. Obviously, we can talk about Bitcoin all day, but the idea this week I've been talking about the altcoins, and in how they follow a pattern before they boom, and it's generally Bitcoin booms first. And then ETH kind of booms, and then the top alts, and then it's a y'all come after that. We're in that phase right now where Bitcoin is booming, and it needs to it's kind of for me reading a bunch of stuff. I'm not an expert at this, but from reading a bunch of stuff, Bitcoin's kind of got to swoon a little bit here while money goes into ETH. let that pump some more. People are talking ETH 5,000, 7,000 ETH, that type of stuff. And then the alts will really start blowing it up. I mean, we've seen Solana blow up, and it's already, I don't know what is Solana today now. It's still at 120. I mean, it was at 90. Now it's at 120. Even Cardano's moving up, that type of stuff. And we want to see those things all move up and then have everything else move up. But we can't ignore the fact, because that in that fourth step is when generally the meme coins would also go bonkers. But the meme coins have not shorted in a technical term, shorted the process, but they're all going nuts now. Bonk is going nuts. Pepe's going nuts again too. Pete Ducks, welcome. Porsche driver DYOR Pete Ducks coming to us from Chicago. Thank you very much, Pete, for joining us. And Crypto Mike says he has 3 friends, not 2.
Nice.
Anyway, those meme coins are booming, Zach. What are your thoughts on what's going on over there?
Yeah, it's interesting. It kind of started with Pepe a couple days ago, and I thought Pepe, Bonk, Doge, Shib, kind of the main meme coins there would make a surge. But I agree with you. I didn't think it would be this soon. I thought it would be kind of a little bit further down the line. But for whatever reason, Pepe got going. There was really no news there, and then a lot of that capital, I think, has started to shift now over into Bonk, as it kind of does, and Dogecoin moved up a little bit. I did hear that there is a little speculation that there could be some big news coming from Dogecoin, one of the developers. So that started kind of moving up a few days ago. And anytime Doge moves, usually that trickles into SHIB. And we saw SHIB bounce up about 30% yesterday. So that was cool to see as well. But I call them the OG memes. And there's kind of 4 of them now, all in the top 100. Dogecoin, SHIB, kind of in a league of their own, in the billions of market cap. And then you've got, obviously, Bonk, actually, and Pepe, both in the billion range, too, which is kind of nuts. But just the Solana meme coins in general have been crazy. I don't know if you've been following a couple of the other ones. Dog Whiff Hat has been going nuts.
I saw that one first, Dog Whiff Hat. And I'm like, I was like, what the hell?
It's nuts. Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely nuts.
I got the Bonk chart here, and it's bonkers. Just in the past, I don't know, just in the past 2 days, it's up, I don't know, it's doubled or tripled. I don't even know what. I can't even, my chart's off the end of the screen.
Yeah, I mean, it's up 100% in the last week, but really most of all those gains have come in, the last 2-3 days.
Right.
Which is nuts. And yeah, it's climbing up there toward an all-time high right now, which is nuts. I think the all-time high almost got to 2 billion. So it sniffed it there for a minute. So pretty nuts. And there's no retail demand, or there is, but there's nothing like we would expect, right? I mean, when we see all these prices, we expect retail to be going crazy, and that's just not what's happening right now. It's really interesting, and I think it's bullish, Tom, because eventually that retail demand will come back. And imagine what happens to some of these altcoins. I mean, it's gonna get interesting.
Well, I've got the Pepe chart up here now. Again, same issue as Bonk. I mean, where did all this? It's YouTube, so I'll just say effing instead of the real word I want to say. Where did all this effing money come from? I mean, where was it sitting? I mean, it wasn't like something else sold off. Like, well, today Ford stock dropped by 50% because everyone moved to Bonk. Where did it come from? And it can't be institutional money coming into Pepe. That doesn't work, right?
No, you wouldn't think so. I mean, but yeah, so maybe the retail money is here. At least some of the, we'll call it old retail money, has resurfaced a little bit. There was a big push with the Pepe community I was reading about. This was a while back when it first started kind of heating up. So apparently a lot of the people who were into NFTs seemingly moved into Pepe. There was a big push from the Bored Ape Yacht Club people. Yeah. Getting into Pepe. So maybe some of that money is still being siphoned out of the NFTs, if they're still worth anything, some of the JPEGs, and being, fired back into Pepe and some of the meme coins.
It's about time all those people realized that shit was all worthless. I mean.
Yeah, and I mean, NFTs, the technology, I mean, and you talk about this all the time, like, the technology's great. Yeah. I mean, but, we're just not to that point where it's being used how it should be. And I think we're getting there. I don't think
I've got NFTs in my wallet, but they're not They're not pictures of some weird ape with teeth. You know, they represent shares of a liquidity pool. Works great. I don't want it anymore. Cool. I can sell it to someone else. I can just, instead of having to unstake everything and do that, I can just sell the NFT to someone else. Works great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not huge in NFTs. I have two different. I have 11 of one drop and then 2 of another. The 2 I have are, it's called Hydro Mining Club, and they passively mine Bitcoin, and you're like in the club. And so it's just a cool way to
that's
diversify.
A great reason. That's a good utility for an NFT. It's not just a picture that I can cut and paste and use myself.
Right. Right. And so that's that. And then I think, NFT gaming, I think is going to be massive. And that's what I also own. So I own 11 WAGMI NFTs, and they're used in the game. Like intrinsic use case, intrinsic value, like it's there. Like they need these NFTs to level up in the game. I'm not personally going to play the game, but I understand the dynamics of gaming and what it means when you start leveling
absolutely
up.
participate in the ecosystem without even having to play. And
yep, 100%.
And I remember spending time watching my son. I used to sit with my son when he was like 12 and 11 and stuff like that, and play Call of Duty with him. But I wouldn't play with him. I would just watch. And at the time, he was young and learning, but he was the super video game guy. And playing, I haven't played a lot of video games since Sega Genesis Golf, which was a long time ago. But I spent a lot of time in the security world, so I'm telling him how to use weapons, and I'm saying, stand back from the corner, and you look this way and do all that. And so we were participating, and it was so fun. And finally he spent, he was having trouble getting a certain kind of armor or something like that. And I was like, why can't you just buy it from someone? And this is 10 years ago. Why can't you just buy it from someone? And he's like, you can't do that in the game. You got to go find it forever. And I was like, Then later someone says, we're going to have NFTs, and it represents, armor suit, whatever you want in the game. And I was like, aha! Yeah. Now there's a tradable market for that, and it'll be $1 billion market or more than $1 billion. Yep. Anyway, quick shout out to Chuck Jansen in the house.
You using the whole fist, Doc?
Yes, the doctor there using are you using the whole fist? And Derek Kaching's in the house. Thank you, Kaching. Welcome. Thank you, Derek, for joining us once again. All regular viewers here, Zach. Just for those of you that are joining us, to see the numbers starting to go up. Pedro is out today, so Zach has graciously taken over the mic for Pedro. And Pedro and I have one type of conversation, and Zach and I have a different one, and we're kind of going over different topics, what's going on in the market. If you have any questions, just let us know. Usually I'm on, have the Telegram room open also, voice chat if you guys want to talk. I do not have that open today because I redid all my audio, and the first time I do anything, I do it wrong. So I didn't want to complicate things. So drop a comment here on any topic you want to talk about. We're just kind of talking about meme coins and the craziness going on with that. And on that topic of meme coins, one of the things that we've noticed in the market lately is on these other chains, other meaning anyone that hasn't been affected by meme coins yet, the kind of the first one that is really introduced goes absolutely nuts, like Bonk on Solana. And we saw Solana go from, when Bonk was introduced, Solana was at like $20-$30 or something like that, and it went nuts. And then quickly that everyone else and their mother launched meme coin on Solana to the tune of more than 100,000 contracts. Many of them were rug pulls, scams, honeypots, all the usual stuff, farming factories. But each one of those has to buy Solana in order to fund the LP, even just for a little bit or for a little amount of time. They have to pay the fees, they have to pay the gas fees, all that type of stuff, and it just rocketed the demand up. And we're starting to see that kind of with every layer one chain. I should just say any chain, is that the first, and I was reading, I wish I had this article up, I was reading this article about it, and there are actually people out there hunting for information on owners of chains to find out their personal information, because almost all of the meme coins are named after someone's dog, something close to that, and so they're watching the blockchain for any hint of a meme coin being launched with a name of the guy's dog or lady's dog or whatever like that, so they can be first in it. That's how crazy they're. But you and I have both been following MainNetZ. You're a validator on that network. and you're cover them a lot. And I cover them only because a lot of my fans here on the show have covered them. And they're just getting started off here. And this links to the conversation I was just having. We need them to get a bonk. We need mainnet Z.
Yes.
We need them to get a bonk and get their first.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just starting to onboard stuff. Their layer 1 chain is live. Their DEX is live. And so now they need projects to come launch on it. So we need to use our collective influence here.
I like it, man.
To get it bonk Z.
Let's do it. Yeah, no, I think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen because the developers on that side of it, they've been around for a while. They know how the game is played, and no matter if you invest in meme coins, like meme coins, what you said earlier, I think is really important, Tom. It does bring necessary exposure to the chain itself, and like you said, you're forced to buy that native token or coin. That's huge. And like you said, even if it's for a short time, but oftentimes you're going to have at least a couple meme coins that do pop, and then all of a sudden you've got that trickle down effect that's just amazing for the main chain.
And suddenly the main chain has money. All of a sudden the main chain has got some money. Their foundation, or however they have it set up, can start funding an ecosystem, and all because of the bonk. I mean, on that note, even at the lower level, like where I'm at here, I'm down here, the low level here. I got started in all this, and all this where I am now today in crypto is a result of a gimmick token called Go Up Higher, GUH. I don't know. It was one of the first rebasing token, or rebased on a schedule, and you could play it. And it was before anyone had figured it out. And one of the guys that was in it figured it out and started a token. Used that money that he did very well, got like 10 BNB out of it. Used that to fund an LP for a new token, of which me and a couple other listeners here got started in. And it eventually blew up like crazy. And just those little things, based on, is essentially what we would call now a gimmick or a meme token, funded a whole bunch of other stuff. Funded me in crypto for a while. It got me started. Yeah. It was what got me started in it. It helped me buy my first Safe Moon, which did well, of course, because I quickly saw those guys on the AMA. And said, "Oh, they're not doing that right. I can do that better." So that's why I started the show, all because of a gimmick coin.
It's pretty cool. I mean, and how many people got into crypto not because of Bitcoin, but because in this last cycle in particular, right? Dogecoin.
Yeah.
I mean, I got into because of Dogecoin and the whole, meme stonk and the GameStop, and you better believe that's what kind of sparked my interest. And then eventually, I mean, I'm still learning, but learned about other things that are happening. But my first investment was Dogecoin. I put $7,000 in at a penny, and it hit 7 cents, and I thought that was the best thing ever. So I cashed out nearly $50,000. Of course, then it went to 70 cents. But I bought it again at 25 cents and rode that up again to 70. But it allowed me, whether you like Dogecoin or not, you can say whatever you want.
Drano, welcome to the house. Drano gets LeBron James because he's a basketball player. Sorry to interrupt you. I do that periodically with the fans.
I love LeBron too. He had a hell of a fourth quarter last night.
LeBron James. A quick answer to someone's question. Sorry there. Pete Duck says, Safe Moon brought me in. Yep. Space Cat says, Space Cat's in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Space. Final Frontier. Jen H, our TG group is DYO. Just search TG for DYOR Media, Cryptos, or Striking's Crypto Smackdown. Not a lot going on in there. I just post links to the shows and that type of stuff. But normally, you could also come on and voice. Chuck Jansen with the super chat. Chuck Jansen, thank you very much. We'll give him a holler on that. Chuck, thank you very much. Chuck is a prolific super chatter. We enjoy it very much. As we say, we're just getting started off in this world of having people fund our show, and all of it gets turned right around back into promoting the show. And as I tell people, if it does well enough, I'll be getting a new supercomputer because I'm switching to Unreal Engine 5 to run my virtual studio, and my little computer here does not do it that well. I need one of those 4090 cards, and those are expensive. But anyway, Drano, Zach is one of our validators. Yes, Drano is a mainnet Z guy. So thank you for joining us. He says Pitmonk brought me to you. Says Andy Wilson. Andy Wilson's also from the NetZ community. Crypto Mike says my first 2 coins were SHIB and Para. I don't remember Para.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, I do remember Para. That might have been a rebasing coin too. I
think it was. Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, I cut you off there, Zach. Sorry to do that. What were you talking about?
No worries, man. I was just saying, basically, Dogecoin, allowed me to get my start, and it sounds like, it did this for a lot of people. And then, because then you have a little bit of capital, and it's like, okay, you start to diversify, you start to learn about the markets, and you're like, okay, what else is out there? But I mean, without that, like, who knows? Would I even have got into crypto? So, like, I don't know. I mean, but because of that craze, I think a lot of people can say that, right? It's like, man, that sparked their interest, and at least it got them to look. It got them to, turn the rock over and say, hey, what's going on in this crypto space?
Speaking of here, why is my... I also pumped this thing over to Facebook, and all it does is really gather spammers, but... oh, there we are. It's live now. Every once in a while, I get like from these other things, like I mentioned earlier, I get like 1 good viewer a week, and hopefully he'll be here soon. I got this guy from Zimbabwe. He's hilarious. All he just types in all caps. What about Bitcoin? Royal Q, if you're listening, give us a comment. Let's see. Let's address those comments.
Oh, my buddy Toltani from the Crypto Alliance gave you a shout out. Did you see that?
Yeah, here we go. Crypto Alliance. Where's it on screen here? Crypto Alliance, hello and good morning from the Crypto Alliance. Thanks for joining in. Tell all your friends. And next time you see Zach, ask him, hey, when are you going to go on that awesome show again with Tom? But for those of you that are wondering how Zach and I met, if you've watched our show before, Zach and I met at the Toronto ETH Toronto event in August of last year. I had set up there to cover the show. And I see Zach walk by, and I'm like, hey, I follow that guy. and so I just grabbed him, and I said, hey. And he's like, you look familiar. And I was like, I think we've texted back and forth a few times about some topics. He goes, yeah, now I remember. Anyway, he came on, I interviewed him, we did a bunch of stuff. And we're both going to be going back to that show again this year. Zach has, I'll put... Zach's codes in the body of this later when he sends them to me. But Zach is an official media partner, and you can get a discount. I, too, am an official media partner of it, but I've not received my code yet. But as they say, we don't get any remuneration from them, but they do get you a discount. And if we can get more people to go to the show based on our words, we'll get better perks as the media people. And a better show is a better show. But it's a great show. They hold it. You go to so many shows in the convention centers and wah 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 wah. This one they just hold it in a big nightclub. It's right on the docks in Toronto. Sweet. Yeah. And at first it's like, oh, this is a little cheesy, and then you realize that wait, they have access to all of their video screens and lighting and all that type of stuff. And there's not a great trade show area. But there's a great stage and speaking area. Instead of dancing girls, they have Charles Hodgson up there speaking, and they have a great crowd. It's a great trade show for those of you that are in Canada, of which I do know I have a bunch of people here that watch me from Canada. You should go to that and later look for the link. I'll post it in the crypto in my DYOR Media Telegram to Zach's discount link, and you can get a discount on the tickets for that. And of course, since it's now as the IRS calls anything with crypto business events, you can write it off.
100%.
Anyway, we got the NetZ chart up behind me. We've been talking about NetZ a lot on here, and we do need to get them going. Zach, what do you think's going to get going? What's going to be those first projects or types of projects that come onto that chain to start consuming that gas and buying that native coin to really push the value of the token up? What do you see for them? Yeah,
it'll be interesting. Will they go after some of these top narrative type plays? Some AI cryptos, or perhaps things in like real world asset tokenization, some of these maybe hotbed kind of things that I think are going to be gaming. Gaming could be another area. Those three in particular are three areas I'm really kind of trying to dive deep into for this next bull run. Or will it be a meme coin? I mean, I think they're going to eventually want and need all of that. But I know one thing. One of the reasons why I became a validator is I had the chance to see Dale, who's their main developer over there at MainNetZ, really like on multiple calls, on multiple conversations. I was just so impressed by him and just what his knowledge base is of just the tech side of crypto, which I do not have that base, but I know when I see somebody who does, I'm like, wow, I wish I had that. And that's kind of how I felt with Dale. And also, Ducky Guy, who is their marketing person, is just a great guy. I've known him since I came in the space, and I'm rooting for those guys. I'm rooting for everybody at MainNetZ because, it is kind of like the little man, if you will, in the layer one space, and everybody wants to root for an underdog, and they're up and coming. They're new. They're fresh. I think they're coming in at a really good time. I mean, ahead of this bull run, I think the timing was perfect where they launched. I'm excited about it, man. And just being a validator has been a really cool thing and so different than just being a straight investor. Having that going has been fun too.
Yeah. What's the validator tech? Have you spun up a virtual machine somewhere to do that, or is it hosted somewhere?
They have it hosted. So I think there's somebody can correct me from the MainNetZ community. I want to say there's like 12 or 13 total. And me and my buddy Austin have shared one. We've split one.
That's the fellow that Zach is on a lot with, Austin Hilton, and many of you are also subscribed to his channel. Good stuff over on Austin's channel.
He's going to be at Toronto, by the way, this year. And
Oh, good. We can have a roundtable discussion.
Yeah, I think I'm getting a lot more influencers and YouTubers and people to come out to this year's event. So I've been telling people about it like over and over. I know Austin's coming. My buddy Mark, who's a small creator, he's got about 5K. His channel is Not Your Father's Capital, which is a great name.
Oh yes, I have seen him.
Yeah, he's coming out there too this year. So yeah, man, I can't wait for that conference. It's going to be great, and I highly encourage. I know you just said this too. It's a great like first step. If you haven't been to a conference yet, I feel like it's like that nice middle ground. It's not like 50, 60, 70,000 people like at Bitcoin, but it's probably like in that little sweet spot of like 3,000 to 5,000, which is nice. It's good. It's a good starting spot.
Let's see, Blockchain Futurist Conference. Blockchain Futurist Conference. Let's get the Pedro's screen back up here. There we go.
And that main person, she probably she can get you that code. I can't remember her name, and I'm sure you're dealing with her.
There's Linda and Shannon.
I think it was Linda who got mine.
Yeah. I've been lazy on getting her my information for her to send back. But anyway, if there's some, what I've said is this year I'm gonna try and have a proper. Last year I had everything in one of my giant tactical bags. I'm gonna try and have a proper studio set up this year, and maybe I'll try and get if there's gonna be all the other YouTubers there, I'll try and get a more of a table set up so we can have a proper discussions and perhaps share some costs too.
Dude, yeah, just let me know. You got my number. I mean, I'll definitely help you out with that. Because I definitely
get a landline put in there for proper internet. That helps because the Wi-Fi there works good for about 5 seconds and then it doesn't.
Yep. No, let me know for sure because I want to. Last year was kind of for me like get your feet wet, see what this is all about, and now that I saw that, I was like, okay, let's go back here with a plan of attack. So yeah, definitely hit me up on that. Let me know.
All right. Let's see. Space Cat, I'll mark it on date on my calendar. All right.
Nice.
And Saka Bato says, my man Zach looking good.
Thanks, brother.
Pit Monk joins the house. Ladies and gentlemen, Pit Monk from the MainNetZ community moderator. Thanks for joining us. Let everyone know at MainNetZ we're talking about them. Actually, I guess you already have done that. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we were talking about the Blockchain Futurist Conference. If you're in Canada, actually, if you're in the U.S., you can come across the border and go to it. Just don't tell them you're coming there for work. Just tell them you're going to visit a conference. Tell them you're coming for work.
Exactly.
Bad plan. Bad plan. We look at that Canadian border guys. They're like, no.
I'm letting the mainnet Z, the whole crew, I'm letting them know we're talking about them right now. Actually, you know what I should do? I should drop the link to this live stream in the mainnet Z Telegram.
Oh, you'll get insta banned unless you're a mod.
Well, I've got a little.
Pitmonk do it.
Oh, I got you. Well, I got another one. This one is. Let's see. There's another one I'm in with 100 people. I think it's like the OGs or something. Let's see here.
Yeah. Oh, as long as it's not the main one. Yeah. The main. Okay. I posted a link on it, and I got shit on all day there.
Which I get it. I mean,
I totally do too. They want to maintain a clean room. I get it. Yeah.
I get
it. All right, but while you're gathering up some mainnet Z, I told the Operation Phoenix guys that I would talk about them at 12:45, and I'm running just a bit late on it. And so let me find that chart here. If there's any, if the Operation Phoenix guys have showed up, I told them that I would talk about them right about now. Operation Phoenix, Zach, I don't know if you know much about them. A bunch of YouTube influencers, DeFi Sean, Squidrow Joe, Cryptonaut Mike, and a couple other guys got together and said, hey, everyone, the Safe Moon community, it was strong, but the tokens management was bad. And it turns out they all ended up in the joint, or are being hunted down so that they ended up in the joint. And so the contract is closed. People have lost all their money. It's terrible. And so what these guys said is that, hey, let's try and let's try and do what the original vision was of the Safe Moon crew, and start all these projects. And fair notice here, I am an investor in Operation Phoenix, but they have not paid me anything to talk about them at all. Do your own research on whether you want to do that, and read these white words going down here that you can barely see. It says this is not financial advice. But anyway, their project launched about almost a month ago now, about 30 days ago, and did very well. Came up, did very well, and they've launched their DEX also, and they're getting ready to launch a couple other utilities. They're on some central exchanges as well. They're on 2bit and on Bitmap, both of them providing some sort of reflections-based stuff. But in the main DEX, you don't get reflections. They're staking available. And the project's doing pretty well. Basically did 100x. With nice. It had some light liquidity issues at first, but they've taken a lot of the fees that they've generated from the tokenomics and plunked them back in. And they're on 2 DEX. This is interesting. They're on 2 DEXs. They're on PancakeSwap and on their own DEX, holding their own liquidity. And so if you trade on their own DEX, you get a little bit better. You get a few more tokens. But it creates some confusion because the liquidity split between 2 places. And so any large buy or sell has too much of an effect before the ARB bot kicks in and levels the pricing going in. Let's see. Who do we got here? Blah, blah, blah. Drano saying, every time you say main, can you add net Z? Alt Notify says, hello, mate. Ryan here from 15 channel. Dap Cash, hope you're good, Ryan. Thanks for joining us. I think that's the 15 and also along with Boddington's, I think. Anyway, Rose says, we are all here for Zach. Anyway, the Operation Phoenix guys are not here, so let's go back to talking about net Z. To the crowd out there for main net Z. What is it? What is it? Please tell me. Please tell me what is coming up. Zach can tell me what's coming up from his idea. He's met the developers, all this type of stuff. But for you guys, what do you see coming up? You see, Zach and I want to see a meme coin. Well, I do. I don't know. I won't speak for Zach.
Yeah.
I want to see a meme coin because we want to see some bonk-style volumes come there and drive the process for people bridging over to net Z. Let me get the right chart up here instead of these guys. This one. Net Z still there. All right.
The other thing, Tom, if you're pulling that up, another thing that maybe gets unnoticed sometimes is the devs have a vested interest to build on mainnet Z because they get a good portion of the gas fees.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. So I forget the exact percentage. It's on the site. I want to say, is it 40%? Somebody could probably, somebody can, I think it's 40%, which is really cool, right? Because I mean, obviously the incentives are there from a standpoint of just, the blockchain itself, but now you have an added one of like, hey, you also get some kickback there from the gas fees.
Yeah, Drano says it's 40%. Well, I can't stress how important that is to incentivize the devs and the development. A good example is StarkNet just launched. And StarkNet launched with a multi-billion-dollar valuation, a market cap of more than $1 billion, valuation of like 25 billion or something like that. And it launched with over 100 projects already started. For everything from wallets to payroll schemes to all kinds of stuff. People just duplicating one thing from one chain onto their chain. But still, they incentivized all those developers and said, hey, you develop all these projects on our chain, and you can participate in the airdrop. And I don't know the technical behind, if they're getting also part of the gas fees or whatever. But it worked, and they had, over 100 groups on day one of the token, or I should say the token of the chain. And then they airdropped everyone over $1 billion. It's like free. I still don't understand where that value comes from and where the actual money comes from, but still, it worked. It incentivized it. It worked. So we want to see that. StarkNet did have VC. Yes, we do understand that. Kenjilla TV. Thanks for joining us, Kenjilla. I haven't seen your name on here before. Carmen Crypto in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Carmen Crypto in the house. She gets the, let's see, which sound effect does she get? The sparkle. I don't know if you can hear that. Not very loud. Carmen Crypto in the house. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Carmen says, Zach is now part of the Chumbalone Club. Yes, that's my favorite word. The word Chumbalone.
What is that?
Chumbalone is a newspaper opinion writer in Chicago who is very critical of the Chicago government. Especially the Mayor Daley government from a long time ago. And the Chumbalone refers basically to the taxpayers getting everything shoved in their cahoots by the government in the form of taxes, all types of stuff. And so all those people are called Chumbalones, just taking it in the shorts. As the mayor said, he said, "Oh, everyone's just taking it in the shorts." And so this was a famous line a long time ago. And so when the bear market was starting, after November 21. That type of stuff, this last one, when we were all just getting hammered. Everything you owned was just getting turned to red. I was like, man, we're just a bunch of Chumbalones here taking it in the shorts because we didn't sell. And it stuck, and Carmen has gone with it. Pete says it's a term of endearment. Crypto Alliance says, smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, please do that. Smash that like button. Send it all to your friends. Kenjilla TV says, no, Pitmonk sent me a like. I liked and subbed. Thanks, really appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate Zach coming on my show and helping talk about NetZ because I don't know enough about them. I hear about them from Pitmonk, who's on this show a lot talking about it. But it's good to hear from the validator point of view. I'm involved in another project. In fact, my one of my sponsors here, Audit Chain. Audit Chain is getting ready to launch. It's not a layer 1 or anything like that. It's a protocol for auditing financial statements of companies. It basically eliminates 4 weeks of hiring Deloitte into 5 minutes of going of that, and it's and I'm not just saying this because they're my sponsor promoting it. Because what I do, because they're my sponsor and I'm promoting it. But what they do is they audit financial companies' filings with the Edgar database online, not only in the U.S. but the Canadian version, the UK version, the Australian version, all that type of stuff, and find where there are errors, missing disclosures, and if you analyze enough of them, you can see trends and potential fraud and all that type of stuff. But they're using validators to run all this stuff. And then the results of these things are permanently recorded on the blockchain. So it's a blockchain tech company checking up now on traditional finance companies.
Pretty cool.
Really interesting. But they need some hosted validator capacity too. So offline, I'd like you to let me know the company that NetZ is using because I might have a referral for them.
Okay. All right. Sweet. Yeah. I could probably hook you up with the guys at NetZ too, and just kind of you could talk to Dale and some of the more technical people over there. I'll make a note of it, but yeah, remind me too. I want to get off.
Ken Gilla says, love the NetZ cover. Hey, when the community shows up, we're going to talk about it. Space Cat says, I jumped in the Operation Phoenix chat and gave them a heads up. We'll see if someone shows up. If they do, we'll talk about it. If not, we're getting long in the tooth in this show, though. One of the things that Zach and I wanted to talk about, other than the usual, was the thumbnail in today's thing. I thought was pretty hilarious. Let me let me see if I can find that here and bring it up. Yeah, there we go. One of the topics I had to talk about was crypto and AI, and I was wanting to work on it, but the Bitcoin boom kind of pushed it off and stuff like. So I had it loaded up in my thumbnail generator, otherwise known as Photoshop, and ChatGPT or in DALL-E, and I said, "Oh, Zach's gonna be on the show," so I said, "All right, make a." The prompt was make a image of Zach and I doing a podcast about crypto and AI and Bitcoin, and it came up with these two studly-looking guys here. and I physically described myself and physically described Zach, mustache, me with a beard, this kind of stuff, hair, no hair, but it added lots of muscles to these guys. And I gotta thank you AI for not being the default, being skinny little weenie guys, but thanks for being muscle guys. And Zach, what color are your eyes? Brown? You got beautiful blue eyes in this, man. He's like
looking like Mr. Clean over there.
Right, exactly. So anyway, one of the things we wanted to talk about, so I put it in the thumbnail. But the crypto, the AI guys have been killing it lately too in crypto, like Fetch, Render.
Render. Yep.
Where's I have a
the Graph, GRT, Singularity Net.
Singularity, that's what I was thinking of.
AGIX, yeah, they're partnered up with Cardano, so I really like that one.
Hold on, let me find my footer here. Where is the
PAL AI? They've been crushing it. PAAL. They were actually at eToronto, crazy enough. And when we were there, they were like a $10 million market cap. You know what they are today?
Oh, please, no. Don't tell me.
330 million. Yeah. Yeah, and they'll be there again at eToronto. So I was pretty early to PAL. I got in around 5 million. And so I met those guys there. I sold way too early, but I bought back in. Yeah. But you know how that goes. I always struggle with that. I sell too early. But then if you hold, and it goes to zero, then you're like, what the hell am I doing, right? That's a tough one. But they're great. They've had a ton of new partnerships recently too. But this whole AI space, man, it's just flooded with crazy amounts of opportunity right now. Small cap, mid cap, large cap. It's just insane. I mean, it's nuts.
It really is. And seeing the AI space kind of go nuts is really something else. I've got the things we were tracking here before were Render. They're at $7.60 now. I think we started tracking them at $1, $2, something like that. Fetch is at $1.47. We were tracking them. I might say that we were tracking them at these prices, and I did not buy a single one of them. Not a single one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy because Fetch created an all-time high yesterday, I think. Injective is literally doing that. It was doing that earlier today. I mean, and here's the thing. I think we're still early. I think we're still early to AI and this narrative. I don't think it's going away. I only think it's going to get bigger. To our earlier point, Tom, it's like the retail money's really not here yet either. So it's like, I think this is going to be one of, if not the biggest narratives, in my opinion, in this bull run. I really think so. And there's a lot of problems to solve using AI and blockchain. And it's like you got these two emerging things that are like Absolutely. New, fresh, exciting, and they're colliding together. It's like, what's better than that?
I guess a good example. Well, quickly welcome everyone from Operation Phoenix. I was talking about you guys earlier. I got your chart up here. We'll plunk you down here and there, but we've got a couple of things to say. Carmen Crypto says we're pumping iron instead of charts. When she's talking about the AI thing, yes, of course. And Matt Sinclair, well, I'll take an ego boost. I love striking and Operation Phoenix. Thank you very much. And Pete says AI is driving tech stocks too. For sure, it will drive crypto. There's no doubt about it. Zach, on your show, on your Twitter Spaces, which I really enjoyed the other day, and Pedro and I are trying to do that on Fridays and have what we call a full rant Friday where you can just bitch about anything in crypto. But I keep taking Friday off, and or have a work conflict or something with Mrs. Striking, something like that. But we talked about the confluence of AI and crypto in a certain way, and I'm going to go over the same example. You heard me talk about it, but for those of you listening, one of the interesting areas where crypto and AI intersect will be in just large-scale projects where there's too much data. And you need some way, and just hitting the filter button doesn't work. And here's an example. I did a podcast with a gentleman for my friend Brad, who was doing a bunch of real-world asset podcasts. And this company, I can't remember the name of the company, and I haven't followed up with it in a while, so I'm not going to plug them if their business isn't going well. But what they did is they've developed, under the laws of the UK, a way to take all the contract and legal stuff that's done for buying and selling properties, and including warranties and insurance and who maintains the property and everything and where those responsibilities are, and tokenize that. Bring it onto an on-chain contract that is legally enforced. And once it gets basically into the UK, it's good, throughout their Commonwealth, and gets quickly adopted elsewhere. And what it does is it allows you literally to use your phone to look at properties and buy and sell them on your phone. And there's a bunch of sites doing that. And I get that. I'm not promoting one over another. But I asked them a question. I said, okay. I said, so say there's 2 million people, 5 million. What if 100 million people sign up and have properties listed on here? I said, how the hell are you going to find what you want? It's not just like I want to live in this neighborhood, then it's easy. You go to a location, right? But if you're looking for investment properties, and as our world grows into a larger crypto world, it gets borderless and you can work from anywhere and that type of stuff. How are you going to find that property you want? And he said, well, we're going to use AI for it. And AI is going to do two things. First of all, it's going to know your financial position, because you're going to teach it your financial position and how much you can afford to invest, whether that's in capital outlay or in monthly rents or whatever. It will know that. So that will quickly eliminate, all at once too high, and you'll set a base. I don't want to live in for Airbnb under a bridge, and so you can set that. And then you say, these are the types of things I want to look for. I want to have 10 properties by the end of 2030 that all have a beach view, all in a warm climate. Doesn't matter what country. It has to be in a managed building of some sort. And then the AI pings you, like you'll get a note. AI pings you, hey, your financial condition says that you can afford to buy this property on the beach in Brazil. Would you like to start this process? And you can hit yes, and it'll go to the other people and say, to the other site, we have a buyer, and then you can just literally choose whether to put a deposit down on it on MetaMask or on your phone. It's one of those things. I'm sure it's not there yet technology wise, but that concept where AI merges with crypto like that will create an amazing way to invest when an AI knows your financial position and just says, hey, this looks like a good investment for you, meets your criteria. It's just always out there looking out for you. So I thought that was interesting. I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah, the whole emergence of AI, I think with real estate and fractionalized real estate, it's going to be huge. I think it's going to be massive. There's a little company. I'm not working with them or not paid by them. I actually just came across them because I've been trying to dive into AI as much as I can and just literally spend a couple hours a day. There's a little company called Lofty, Lofty, Lofty _ AI on Twitter. I've been looking into them. That's a really interesting concept where you stake USDC against real properties. Very interesting. But it was funny. I was actually sitting next to, I was sitting next to a guy in Florida last year, and I didn't know this. Avalanche, who was at ETH Toronto, they're really getting heavy into tokenized real estate. Avalanche, kind of behind the scenes. I don't think they're really out in the front. But anyway, I was wearing a Bitcoin hat at a bar, and this guy was like, oh, you're in crypto or whatever. I said, yeah. So we started talking or whatever, and he worked at Avalanche.
Oh.
And talking about tokenizing real estate and how it's going to be huge. And it's like, it's interesting. And this was last year, probably about a year ago now. So I think people are working on it pretty heavily in the background. I think even some of the big guns. I know Chainlink is kind of working on it as well, at least from what I've heard in the last couple of months. So it's gonna be interesting, man, to watch all of these. You got crypto and blockchain as this kind of overarching new technology, but all these other layers are now coming in, and AI is a big piece of it.
Not that one. This one. There we go. It is. Well, like I said, we were getting a little long in the tooth in the show. One of the things I did want to talk about was the product that you've developed and brought to the market. One of the things that's part of your ecosystem is your XT Algo trading, I don't even know what to call it properly, just the XT Algo system. Indicator system. It's going to take me a second to get it up on the screen here, so bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. So if I can get... let's see, let's go back to the screen. Let's see, screen share, ad source, where is it? Ad source. Sometimes I do these things well on the fly, and sometimes not.
It's all good.
There we go.
Yeah, man. So the indicator, we built it last year. I tested it for about 3-4 months, and we actually rolled it out right during the conference that we met each other at. So that's when it went live on the market, is August of last year. And basically, I went and tried to find the best developer who builds these indicators, and I found a guy on Upwork who works with the second largest company. The company's called Chart Prime. Who builds these trading indicators for pretty much everything: crypto, stocks, forex, commodities, whatever you want to trade. And basically kind of gave him a vision of, hey, I want to be the Walmart of indicators, and I want this thing to be really stupid, simple, easy to use, because that's what I need, and I think that's going to fill a gap for where other people are too. And so that's what he built me here, and the whole crux of this is that it's super easy to use. There are a lot of things going into these indicators, but it's simply a momentum up, momentum down. So if we look at Bitcoin, for example, on the daily, actually this is the 1 hour, we'll go to the daily. You can use this on any time frame too. But the last time we got a momentum up indicator, which nothing is 100% bulletproof, right?
Right.
But it gives you an idea. And oftentimes it's pretty accurate. So right here, from this point to where we are now, last 21 days, 35% move if you would have entered here when XT Algo said, hey, momentum up here on this daily close. Something's happening here with Bitcoin, and here we go. Look what's happened since. And you can kind of use this for anything, stocks, crypto related. If you go over to ETH real quick, probably something similar here. There you go.
Wait, hold on. What's ETH trading at right now?
Over 3,400. How about that?
Damn.
Love it. But yeah, similarly here, like 17 days, a 28% move here on ETH. And again, nothing is 100% bulletproof, but this is just another tool to add in your toolbox. And I think what really it's helped me is kind of validate things where, like, hey, I think, ETH could be breaking out here. And then it's like, all right, let me go check XT Algo. Yep, momentum up is flashed. Might be a good entry point for either a trade or, a long-term play.
Now that's really cool. Now, as many viewers know, I'm kind of the talking face here and fundamental investor type guy, more of a big picture. And Zach is kind of like that too. And Pedro is my technical analysis guy. He'll look at a daily chart of a project that's only been launched for 4 days, and he'll look at the daily chart instead of the minute chart like I do, and he'll be like, nah, it's going to go up a little bit, then it's going to come back down to 3, then go back up to 7. And it does. And I'm like, well, how do you know that? He's, well, this, and that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I just don't have the time. He said, well, I've been learning this stuff for 20 years. And I'm like, well, okay. One of the ways you get around that is bringing knowledge from other people into your trading tools, and XT Algo is it. And I'm not sitting here just pumping Zach's thing. I think it's a great thing. Like I always say, Zach's not paying me to do this, all this type of stuff. Yeah. But I thought it's a great product, and I just wanted to bring it to my viewers to talk about it, because it helps take the emotion out of this. And as we all suffered, suffered in 21, and a bunch of you guys are going to comment here about Chuck and Pete and all you guys. And then we all suffered from emotions, and we got too into it. You're like, no, this could never happen because we're a strong community. No, we got it. Chumbalone's got it in the shorts. That's what happened. And if you can take some emotion out of it by having an indicator say, hey, this is a good time to do this. Buy here, sell here, because these conditions have been met. And the conditions, Zach, correct me if I'm wrong, but the conditions are what you set. I mean, you can. I'm sure there are default ones, and this type of stuff, but you can tweak it any way you want. And so you can tweak it to say, give me an indicator if the Fed is going to speak, or something like that. Or give me an indicator if the wife's about to come in the door to close my screen,
Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, the thing is, for me, I needed something like this because I know myself. I'm not going to become this technical savvy person because I'm like you. I'm more of a fundamental, macro, understanding human behavior, right? That sort of thing. Like kind of like we were talking through the whole AI thing. It's like I'm more kind of, I think, somewhat savvy in there in that way. It's like, all right, what's going to be next? Like we were getting heavy into AI about a year ago, AI cryptos, and we were like, I think this is going to be the next thing. And gaming, right? We can kind of think through those things, but it's the technical side that A, I'm not good at, B, I don't enjoy, so if I can make my life easier and give me that extra tool, that's what I wanted to do. And I tested it for a while. And once I saw that it worked well, I was like, okay, I'm ready to take this thing to market. And we've got hundreds of people using it. I've gotten great feedback. So yeah, if anybody listening wants to try it out, just make sure you use discount code X at checkout. You'll get 21% off the prices you see on the website. So if you are interested, it is a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you can basically try it for 30 days. I've got a full customer support person. If you don't like it, full refund after 30 days, no questions asked. So all of those are set. So yeah, that's about it, man. I appreciate you letting me speak on it real quick. And
no, it's good.
It's been really cool.
It's good to spread the word about these things, and especially ones that are done by us creators here. Most of the time that creators just take money from someone else, and then someone else moves on and they screw them, and this kind of stuff. But when it's basically, Zach is doing what I would like to do. He's building his brand, and he's building his avenues of income by expanding his ecosystem, using his ecosystem with many projects. And that's a lesson as we try to impart on people here at DYOR. Do your own research. Try to teach you to fish. We're not going to give you a fish. If we teach you to fish, you can eat forever. And in whatever job you guys are doing, not just crypto life and all that, use your network and your influence to better your income potential. Think about how you can monetize. Pete, how can you monetize your Porsche club? How can you get them to do stuff? Carmen, you live in Vegas. There's lots of ways to monetize stuff in Vegas. Just don't be walking the streets at 4 a.m. But so you use your network, use your surroundings to do that. And I'm learning as Zach goes along here how to do that type of stuff. And hopefully Pedro and I can bang it out with this channel, grow it, and bring you something that's a little different. I mean, everyone does, what they're good at. I do a show in a certain way. It's more like a talk show. Like every once in a while, you'll catch me dancing like Ellen, because I'm good at that. And that's what I do. And as it slowly builds the ecosystem, hopefully we're able to do things like you're doing, Zach. Get additional topics. Get additional products and stuff like that. Things that our viewers have come up and said, hey, we could use this, that type of stuff. Pete Duck says, striking Ellen. Yeah, that's just what we want. We did the spit in the handshake a long time ago. And Carmen says, we are totally trauma bonded now. I guess we're having an OG reunion here. Pit Monk says, or Pete says, I even held Safe Moon all the way to the bottom. Yeah, Pete, you held that way too long.
That's brutal. Yeah, I think we've all been there once.
The Seeker of Truth says, came into the live to support the channel. Zach, you have a new subscriber. Zach and Striking, you have a new subscriber. We appreciate all you're doing for the space. The Crypto Alliance is uniting the crypto industry. That's good. I got also Mr. Cryptocurrency got the invite and coming in from the Crypto Alliance and subscribed and smashed that like button. Unite, act, deliver. I did not know anything about the Crypto Alliance, and now I do. Thank you guys for bombing my show. I really appreciate it. Loyal King says, Zach, thanks for letting us know about the channel, and we're here to support the Crypto Alliance. All right, you guys. Well, you found DYOR Live. The token's up in there in the corner. It's usually Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst, and me, Striking Balls. I got that name from Reddit when I signed up for Reddit. They say, well, how about this name? Like, how could I not want that name? Can either be playing golf, striking balls, or it can be getting kicked in the ding-ding, whichever way you think about it. And we do a daily talk show about crypto industry. Things that, Zach, remember your screen is shared, just so you understand that.
Yeah. I was looking into. Is this your token?
It was a while ago. That was where all us OGs got started.
Okay. Interesting.
There's all right. But we were trying to develop a utility for it. Now there's 2 other DYOR projects developing really good utilities. So it's just kind of hanging out, as they say. But that's where a lot of these OGs have come from here. So that's where we all met.
Love it.
But the XT Algo, where was I going with that? I don't know. But anyway, I was talking about the show. But so if come back, Pedro and I aren't on 5 days a week. We average about 3 to 4 days a week and do a 2-hour show. Talk about projects, talk about stuff. And Pedro will be sad he missed this show because he loves the interaction, and like so do I. Crypto Mike says, been here since the trauma days, and you're stuck with me. Chuck Jansen says, checking out XT Algo now. There you go.
Nice.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, I think Zach and I are getting to the end of the show here. A little bit shorter show today. Why is this not... there we go. But a couple quick mentions for my sponsors. I've already talked about Audit Chain over here on the bottom. Here, let's get back to this one here. On the bottom over here, Audit Chain. Go check them out at auditchain.finance. If you are in the financial assurance and reporting industry, this is a total disruptor, that group. Total disruptor. And I'm not saying go buy their token. It's meant to be used as gas. But as the adoption goes up, the price of their token goes up. So do what you want with that. 2 below me is Camuso CPA, Patrick Camuso at Camuso CPA. For those of you in the U.S., Patrick runs a crypto accounting and tax firm. And just so you know, most people say, "Oh, well, I've got a good crypto guy." Half of his clients are cases that other crypto accountants blew that are not skilled in the crypto land. Because basically, how do you account for reflections? How do you account for rebased tokens, liquidity tokens, all this type of stuff? You got to be able to read the Blockchain Explorer to get it exactly right. And we know that the IRS is paying Chain Analysis a lot of money to roll up the whole DeFi block space here and link them to all the exchanges that they've subpoenaed information from, like Binance, Kraken, all those guys. And so you have to declare this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Patrick can help you with your current taxes, crypto, and getting you out of a hole from things you screwed up in the past. And of course, lastly, the logo just spun off here. It was the DeFi Dojo Lounge. DeFi JB over the DeFi Dojo Lounge is going to be running some of her AMAs as sponsored segments here on the DYOR Media Network. And so look forward to those coming up. So if you're a project out there that wants exposure to a bunch of Telegram rooms and a little bit of FaceTime with old striking balls here, there they are, the DeFi Dojo Lounge, and you can find them in Telegram. DeFi Godfather, welcome for joining the show. Thank you very much. DYOR is a great group of people. Can't argue with that. I'm at work, but I had to sneak away to come home to show my support to the channel and Zach. Thanks to both of you gentlemen, the Crypto Alliance. Boy, this Crypto Alliance is really doing it here. Pit Mug says, great show. Thank you, guys. Zach, before we go, anything else on the list of things to yak about here?
No, man. Thanks for having me. I'm doing the Crypto Breakfast Club now every Monday on Twitter, 9 a.m. Eastern. So hope you can join me again. And the Crypto Alliance, by the way, that's a Twitter space as well. They're every night, I believe, at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. So check them out too. Toltani runs that one, and there's a lot of really smart people. I've learned a ton since they've started that up. I really like the Twitter spaces, man. So I know you came on my first one I had. I'd love to have you back and just kind of continue to grow that. And I kind of like it at the beginning of the week, Monday morning, fresh start. It seems like that was like forever ago already. That was just this week, but a lot has happened since then. But yeah, other than that, man. Appreciate you for
Carmen
having me.
says that you're 6 a.m.
On the West
time
Coast,
frame
that's
for
right.
Breakfast Club. Yeah, I spent a lot of time in my life with Breakfast Club, meaning get up for university football games and start drinking.
Yes, sir.
that's what Breakfast Club means to me. Ooh.
Yes, sir.
It means
Oh, yeah.
pictures of tequila and orange juice. Crypto
I remember
Alliance
doing
says,
some-
thanks to all coming in from the Crypto Alliance, as this network has become more than I ever thought. Thanks, Zach and DYOR Media for the live. Crypto Alliance, drop me some Telegram love, and I'll promote the Twitter Spaces on that as well. And I look forward to joining it. I'm enjoying. One of the reasons why I enjoy Twitter Spaces is that, like on your show, I've got the phone in the pocket of my robe, my earphone in, and I'm walking around in my robe and bare feet in my apartment. Talking about crypto
nice.
because it was early. I'm like, hey, this is true Breakfast Club. We used to go to the bar in our robes at that time in the morning. Now I'm talking crypto. I don't have, if you can see, I have this giant green screen here and lights and all this technology, this type of stuff. But for this Twitter Spaces, robe, phone.
Right. It's easy. You could be anywhere. Yeah, man. I'll tell you guys one thing. Tom had a setup at Toronto. I'm looking forward to seeing what you had.
This year we're going to be
year,
out of
man.
control. That last year was sort of nuts. But this year it's going to be out of control. Yeah, especially what I'm going to talk to Laura about making a because I just kind of took over that area, but actually giving me a riser so we can sit above the crowd and shoot with the speakers behind us and talk kind of like sports, like we're on Fox Sports or TBS or something like that.
Yep. Walk up the stairs to the table. Yeah,
Right.
That would be awesome.
I know. That would be good. I'll work on that because they're very flexible, and at that location you don't have to deal with a union, so you can do whatever you want, really. So it's really nice.
Yep. For sure.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the show here. Thanks to all of you joining in. I really appreciate it. Zach, thanks for coming on the show. I look forward to having that happen again in the future, and come on over to your show. Looking forward to meeting Austin and crew at ETH Toronto. Should be a good time. You'll hear a lot, both of us talking about that a lot lately, and we'll have some good content of it. And if I can get a live connection from it, we'll be doing the DYOR live show from there for both days of the show. And into it, Crypto Mike says, later dudes. And that's all we got for you, ladies and gentlemen. We are later duding out, as they say. Where's my... So, we'll see you later. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.